Hello, everyone. My name is Kwame Frimpong. I am a marriage and family therapist. And today I'd like to share my take on Kirk Franklin and his family and what they are going through. We all have heard, you probably have heard about what happened between him and his son. Their family has been dealing with some mental issues that he didn't say, so we don't know. Obviously, they have been going back and forth. He and his son have been going back and forth about this particular issue, and they are seeking for professional guidance. They are talking to a therapist. Unfortunately, a couple of days ago, they had a blowout, and Kirk Franklin said that he said some things he didn't have to say, and his son recorded it and posted it on social media. This is to tell us that as a family member, myself, as a pastor, a father, and a counselor, the whole world recognize that we deal with mental issues in the world today, and we cannot hide away from it. Every family, I believe, have some mental issues that they deal with. And mental issues, as a matter of fact, can take a toll on the family. Families sometimes don't know what to do. And that is what his family is dealing with. This is a story of many of us that we deal with these issues. So what I'm saying today is that rather than talking about what went wrong and what they should have done, I think we can take this as a template to look into our own families and see whether or not we are dealing with mental issues well or we are not. That's just the truth of the matter. Are we responding to mental issues well? Are we seeking for help? Are we are we being effective in the way we respond to mental illnesses in our families? So that is what happened, and if you're not if you are experiencing mental illness, it can take a heavy toll on the family. It can be very, very stressful. The issue itself is one problem, but how we respond is quite another problem. And Kirk Franklin came back and he rendered apology. He didn't just say, I am sorry to the family, but he didn't even have to apologize to the whole world. But he did. And for me, that's a good thing for him to turn around and come back and apologize to the world. Because to say I'm sorry, to render an apology, is not easy for many people, especially for men. Now, me as an African, I can tell you that so many times, men, I remember one guy told me some time ago, he said, Pastor Kwame, in fact, to say I am sorry to my wife is very difficult. But to say I am sorry to the world, that, in my opinion, that I appreciate Kirk Franklin for coming out and to render apology for the family, and then to do it in public, you have to have a big heart, and it takes a great amount of humility and meekness to really apologize to your son in public. Just imagine, not in private, not in their own house, or he could have made a phone call to his son and say, you know what, I'm sorry for what happened. But he realized that he needed to do this in public. And for me, that is humbling. That takes a big heart for him to really do that. And then something else Kirk Franklin said, the other video, he and his wife sometime today, he said, I am willing to do anything and everything to keep on working this relationship. I'm not giving up. He's my son. That is another thing that I want to pick up on. He could have gotten discouraged. He could have said, you know what, just forget it. Like sometimes people do that. People get tired, they get discouraged, and they just forget it. But I just like what he said. He said, I'm not going to give up on this relationship. I'm going to continue. I'm going to seek for counseling. I am going to do anything and everything it takes to work on this relationship. And I think that is important, as a father, to hear someone saying, I'm not going to give up. That encouraged me. And I hope that it will encourage you. While we talk about what he didn't do right, let's also appreciate and thank God for what he's doing right. And so he said, I'm going to do anything that I can to make it right. So here are about 3 or 4 few things that I want to share with you that family can do when it comes to mental health. Whenever a member of a family is dealing with mental health, how do we respond as family members? I think whenever family members are dealing with, bipolar or depression or sadness or anxieties or whatever the situation may be, the person who is dealing with these type of issues, often they feel a sense of being misunderstood. They feel like people don't understand what they are dealing with. Especially when we hear pray, you don't pray enough, you are lazy, you are this, and sometimes it could be the case. But would that solve the problem? Would that solve the problem, or it will rather increase anxieties and the stress level? So when family members are dealing with mental health, they feel misunderstood. They feel like people don't understand what they are dealing with. Sometimes all that would take is that they could be heard and understood and express some kind of empathy. The other thing too is that they feel perplexed. It's just a feeling of despondency, just completely hopelessness that, you know what, I can never do anything right. I can't fix my problems. I am always doing the wrong things. And so they go through these cognitive distortions and at the same time dealing with a lot of emotional hopelessness in their lives. So what should family do? What should we do as family? I think the first thing that we need to do is to offer support for the family member who has to deal with these issues. Offer support. Let offer empathy. And sometimes it can be tiring. You can get tired. But like Kirk Franklin says, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to fight. I'm going to keep on working on this relationship. So don't give up. Let's make it a family issue. This whole family can come together and say, you know what, we need to make this a family issue as opposed to make it one person issue. In therapy, we call it IP, the identified patient. It's like one party, it's only the member of the family who has this issue. No, the whole family can make it our family issue and provide support and empathy and help out. Number 2, which is very, very important, is that if you are a family member and one of your family members, maybe your child or your cousin, is dealing with some kind of mental illness, as a family, we need to educate ourselves about what a diagnosis is. For example, let's say that your son or your daughter or your sister or cousin is dealing with depression. It will be good for you to study more about depression. If it's bipolar, study more about bipolar. If it is borderline, study more about borderline. If it's PTSD, whatever the situation is, I think family would do well by reading and understanding, educating themselves more about what they are dealing with. And finally, get help. People get help. I pray that you don't deal with this alone. Get some help. There are solutions out there, and seek for professional assistance and don't give up. I believe that you will get to the other side. You can share this video with others to get some few tips about how to offer help to a family member who is dealing with mental illness. And don't forget to check on my YouTube channel. I have many videos that will bless you. Please share, and God bless you.